Let's go ahead and discuss the structure of the Linux commands. To give a command to a Linux system, you type in a shell the command's name, X options, and arguments if required. Let's get started with an example. I'm opening a terminal and the default shell, which is bash, was started. And I'm running ping -c1 8.8.8.8. As you probably already know, the ping command, which is available on Windows and Mac as well, is used to test the network connectivity to a destination host. For the moment, please don't focus on the actual command or on what it does. We'll have plenty of time to dive deep into each important command. Just focus on the structure of the command line and how I put things together. We notice that we have an active connection to 8.8.8.8, which, by the way, is a public DNS server from Google. This is how we check that the internet is working. If you have any issue with your internet connection, to continue with this example, you can ping your loopback interface IP address, which is 127.0.0.1. This is the IP address of your loopback interface. It will work even though you don't have an active network connection. Let's take a closer look at the command line. The name of the command is ping. C is one of the command's options, 1 is the options value, and the IP address, which was 127.0.0.1, is the command argument. It's important to know that all options are preceded by a hyphen, a minus sign. Note that the command name, X options, and arguments are always separated by one or more white spaces. In fact, the shell knows that the command name ends where it sees the first white space. The command name has ended here, before -c. Note that it's common to separate the command name, X options, and arguments by one white space, but there's nothing wrong if you write more white spaces. This is correct as well. It's fairly standard that the options must come after the command name and before any command arguments. However, there are variations and commands that permit options after the main argument like this. I'm removing -c1 and I'm writing it at the end, -c1. By the way, it means that it will send only one ping packet to the destination. This is the same, but it's not common. In the examples of this course, we'll follow the standard and we'll write the options after the command name and before its arguments. In Linux, there are commands that require some options or arguments and return an error if they are run without arguments. And there are other commands that do not necessarily require options or arguments. For example, if I run the ping command again, this time without any option or argument, I'll get an error. It says destination address required. It's mandatory to specify an argument. But if we take another command, say ls, we'll see that we can run it both with and without options or arguments. By the way, ls is probably the most used Linux command. Its name comes from list and it displays or lists information about the file system. In this example, the ls command has displayed the contents of the current working directory. Now, let's run it with an option and an argument. -l option tells ls to use a long listing format, and /etc, which is the argument, indicates what directory to list. Using the options, we change the command's behavior. Note that some options can be written using a hyphen or a minus sign, and a single character such as -l or double hyphens and an entire word. So ls --all and ls -a are similar. It's the same command. By the way, this option -a or --all will display the hidden files and directories as well. Note that we can use more options, not only one. In this example, I'm using both short and long options. And it's common to group all short options together like this. See how I've grouped the L and H options together. The last two commands have the same effect. They are equal. Let's see one last example. I'm running a command without any option. df. The same command with a single option in short format. The command with two options. The command is df. Or I can group the options. I can also add a third option in long format. By the way, the df command displays information about the file system and the disk space usage. Okay, that's all about the Linux commands structure, options, and arguments. This lecture is really important if you're a complete beginner. Take your time to deeply understand each concept and rewatch the video until you feel confident about it.